Good morning children, welcome to maths class. How are you children? I hope you are all fine. Okay, this week what is our topic? We are going to discuss about new topic called chords of a circle. Okay, in your lower classes you have studied about a circle, isn't it? Same thing now we are going to discuss again. Okay, what does it mean by a circle? That is the set of all points which lie in a plane at the same distance from a fixed point is called a circle. What is the meaning? The set of all points. The set of all points which lies at a constant distance from a fixed point. Constant distance from a fixed point. From a fixed point is called a circle. From a fixed point is called a circle. It's called a what? Circle. Okay. Now look at the diagram. Here it is one point. Shall we give the name O? You see, this point O lies the constant distance from all the points which is lying on this line. Okay, if you join, you can find infinite number of points on the circle. You see, if I join, see, here I am taking so many points, and these points are lying fixed distance from this point. Okay, what distance? That is constant distance from this point. So if we join all these points, we are getting one shape. That shape is called what? Circle. Understand? So here it is one fixed point. Here there are so many points. I am going to choose that points which lies a constant distance from this point. And after choosing all the points, I am joining these points. And what is the final shape of the points? Yes, if you join together, you are getting a circle. Okay, next we are going to study about center. What does mean by a center? I said no, this fixed point which lies a constant distance from all the points. That point is called the center of the circle. The fixed point is called the center of the circle. What is that? Center of the circle. Next, what is a radius? Next we are going to see about radius. That is the distance between fixed point to any point on the circle is called radius of the circle. What is that? The distance between between the center and any point on the circle is called what? The radius. It's called the radius. So we have finished three things. First one is a definition of a circle, and second one is a center of a circle, and third one is a radius of a circle. Next we are going to see next heading is secant. What is meant by a secant? A line which cuts the circle in 2 points is called a secant of the circle. Now look at this line. See, it cuts the circle at 2 points. Shall we take this is A and B? Yes, the line AB cuts the circle at 2 points. This line you take this is L. The line L cuts the circle at 2 points A and B. Therefore, we can say what is the name of the line? That is the secant. A line. Now shall we write the definition? Okay. A line which cuts the circle at 2 points. At 2 points is called secant of the circle. secant of the circle. Next we are going to see here what is the secant? The line L, and here A and B are secant. Next same thing, but we are going to see there is a chord. Small difference only. There is small difference between secant and a chord. What does mean by a chord? That is a line joining any 2 points on the circle is called a chord. Here I am taking one point C. Here I am taking D. See, this line C and D is joined by a line. Okay, then we can say the CD is a chord of the circle. What is the name of that? Chord of the circle. Chord. C-H-O-R-D. Chord. This is what a secant. Okay, the line joining any 2 points of the circle is called the chord of the circle. The line joining any 2 points on the circle is called what? It's called a chord. C-H-O-R-D. Chord of the circle. Okay. Next topic is diameter. What does mean by a diameter? That is the chord of the circle. The chord of the circle which passes through the center. Which passes through the center. Which passes through the center is called the diameter of the circle. It's called the diameter of the circle. Diameter of the circle. Therefore, we can say diameter is also a chord. Because what is the meaning? The chord of the longest chord of, excuse me, the chord of a circle which passes through the center is called the diameter of the circle. What is the chord? A line joining any 2 points. Here, this is the center of the circle. Here I am going to draw one line. You see, this line passes through the center. This line is what? Passing through the center. Shall we give the name EF? So what is the name of this line? Yes, it is what? Diameter. Because it is passing through the center as well as it joins 2 points on the circle. So a line joining 2 points on the circle is called what? A diameter. Sorry, chord. A line joins any 2 points on the circle is called what? A chord. As well as this line joining 2 points and passing through the center also. Therefore, what is the special name of this line? Diameter. So we can say diameter is the longest chord of the circle. What is that? Diameter is the... These are very important points about the diameter. Diameter is called the longest chord of the circle. The longest chord of the circle. Chord of the circle. Understand? And one more thing we should know about the diameter. What is the meaning? The diameter is always 2 times of the radius. The length of the diameter will be equal to what? 2 times of radius. That is 2 into radius. So we can say D equal to, that is the diameter is denoted by small d. Therefore we can say D equal to 2R. D equal to what? 2R. Understand? So we have finished the diameter. And diameter is called the longest chord of the circle. And this diameter passes through the center of the circle. And diameter can be written as 2 times of radius. Next our topic is circumference. Next is circumference. What is mean by circumference of the circle? That is, circumference means boundary. Boundary length is called what? Circumference. So, the circumference of the circle is the circumference of the circle is its boundary length. Is its boundary length. Boundary length. Boundary length is what? Outer length. Outer. Understand? What is the circumference? Of the circle is its boundary. Okay. Next, you know that In smaller classes we study what is the circumference of the circle formula. Yes, the circumference of the circle equal to circumference of the circle is equal to 2 pi r units. Okay. Next our topic is arc. Next our topic is arc. Okay. Now consider 4 points on the circle, that is P, Q, R, S. How many points I am going to take? 4 points. And here we can say that is PQR is one section, PRQ is one section. We can write this as PRQ, one section, and another section QSP. What is another section? QSP. These are the two sections of the circle. Based on this 4 points we have divided. And here simply you can write this as PQ one section. This is what? PQ one section. Understand? This PQ is one section and another section is what? Here QS. Simply we can say, okay, QS and the QS. Okay. So what we are going to observe from this means here that PQ and QS are called the arcs of the circle. What is called the arcs of the circle? This part, because it look like a semicircle. That is what parts of a circle. If you cut, that is bangles. That bangles, if you broken bangles are the examples for arc of the circles. You see here this part is. This singular part is one arc of a circle from P to Q. If you cut in the circle, you will get one small part of the circle. The small part of the circle is called what? PQ is called arc. And we can say the part of the circle or the part of the circumference of the circle is also called what? Arc of the circle. So we can, here I am going to divide. PQ is one arc and another arc is what? QS is the another arc. Usually arcs are taken in anti-clockwise direction only. Usually arcs are written in what direction? Yes, written in anti-clockwise direction. And we can say the part of the circumference of the circle is called what? Arc. Because circumference means what now? Boundary of the circle. So the part, then P and Q are what? This is the full circumference. Here P and Q are what? Parts of the points on the circumference and part of the circumference. So we can say PQ is one arc and another one, this QP is anti-clockwise direction. Therefore QP is another arc. And based on this arc, we can say the smaller arc divides the points, that is the point P and Q. The point P and Q divides the circle into two sections. What is that? Two sections. That is, one section is PQ and another section is QP. Therefore, we can say that sections are called major arc. That is, the longer section and the shorter section. Okay, shorter section. Here we can say the longer section, that is the QP, is the major arc. What is that? QP, the longer section. QP is called what arc of the circle? Major arc of the circle. And PQ is called minor arc of the circle. What is the arc first of all? The part of the circumference of the circle is called the arc of the circle. And we have considered 2 points P and Q and we saw all these points. And usually the arcs are taken in what direction? Anti-clockwise directions. The points dividing the circle into two sections. One is the major arc, that is major section. It occupies most of the circle, and this is the minor section. Understand? Okay, students. in parts of a circle, chapter 4 geometry, we are discussing about parts of a circle. Now we are going to see major segment. Now only we have finished about the arcs idea. Okay, now we are going to see major segment. That is, now in a circle, first we have taken how many points? 4 points. P, R, Q, S. Isn't it? P, Q, R, S I have taken, and I told you the area covered by the small arc PQ is called what arc? Minor arc, and the QP is called the major arc. This we have finished, isn't it? Now another topic is major segment. What is a major segment? The region surrounded by the major arc QP and the chord PQ. And the chord PQ is called the major segment. And what is the minor segment? Yes, the region surrounded by the minor arc PQ and the chord, same chord only, because below the chord it is called what? Minor segment. So, and the chord PQ is called a minor segment. And we have denoted, how we have denoted the arcs? Could you remember? Yes, first arc is denoted as, what is that? PRQ. That is simply, I told you to write this is PQ, arc PQ, and the major arc QSP. Major arc is written as QSP. Simply we can write QP. This is minor arc and the major arc, and this is major segment, minor segment. Major segment means the region surrounded by the major arc and the chord PQ. It must include the chord. So it includes the chord PQ and the major arc. Therefore, it is a major segment. And here this region includes the chord PQ and the minor arc PQ. Therefore, it is a minor segment. Next topic is sector. What is meant by a sector of the circle? Okay, what is that? A region surrounded by two radii and one arc of the circle. And one arc of the circle is called what is the region? Sector region. Of the circle is called sector. What is the name of the region? Sector. That is, it is a region surrounded by how many radius? Two radius and one arc. Two radius and one arc of the circle is called the sector. Here you see OA and OB are the radius of the circle. And what is the arc surrounded here? Yes, AB is the arc surrounded here. These two radius are surrounded by the arc AB. So we can say this region is called what region? Sector. What is the name of this region? Sector. And since these sectors are surrounded by, this sector is surrounded by small arc AB, we can say this is a minor sector. It is surrounded by small arc AB. Therefore, we can say this is a minor sector. And here B to A, it is surrounded by a bigger arc, that is larger arc. Therefore, we can say it is a major arc. A circle contains two sectors. One is a minor sector and another one is a major sector. But simply, what is the definition of sector? It must be surrounded by two radius and one arc. Next our topic is congruent arcs. Next our topic is congruent arcs. What does mean by congruent arcs? Here the arcs, that is what are the arcs here? AB, arcs AB and CD subtend same angle at the center. Same angle at the center. And the center of the circle O means center of the circle O. We can say the two arcs are congruent. What is the meaning? Here, if you here this is the center of the circle, this is O you take, and here I am. Here it makes that is the arc makes the angle AB. Okay, and considering the arc AB, you can make an angle. Okay, here one angle that is AB, at the center, AOB at the center, and for this arc CD, if you are getting another angle COD. For the arc AB makes the angle what? AOB, and another arc CD makes another angle COD. And if the two angles are equal means, we can say these two arcs are congruent to each other. These two arcs are what? Congruent to each other. Congruent means they will have same shape and the size. Okay, now see here, the arcs AB and CD subtend same angle at the center of the circle O means we can say arcs are congruent. How to write the congruent? That is arc AB congruent to. Congruent means same shape and the size. So what is the symbol for congruent? You have to write the three lines together. Okay, AB congruent to CD, and they are making equal angles. No, so we can write here angle AOB is equal to angle COD. So COD in angle way we can write M of angle AOB is equal to M of angle COD. So what is the name of this arcs? If they make same angle at the center, is very good. Congruent arc. Okay. Okay. Next, congruent circles. What is the next topic? Congruent circles. That is circles which are said to be congruent. Congruent means what? They will have same shape and the size. So here congruent circles means circles which have same size, shape you would have in a circle. Circles which have same size are called congruent circles. Congruent circles. That is, they are copies of each other. They are copies of each other. That is how we are having our photo. Our photo is like us now. Like that, they are copies of each other. One circle is a copy of another. Copies of each other. And we can say simply they are identical. They are identical. They are identical circles. In our identity card, we will have our face only. Like that, they are identical. Understand? So circles which have same size are called congruent circles. Here I have drawn a circle, but it is not similar to. So, okay, not equal almost. It is like this. For examples only I have drawn here. So exactly they will be equal in size. That is the example our hand bangles. We can say our hand bangles are congruent to each other like that. And in our real life examples we can say the wheels of bullock cart. Sure, it will be same size. Really, otherwise it won't be run smoothly. So the wheels of bullock cart is an example for congruent circle. And another thing, the ring of the Olympic rings are congruent to each other. You know the pictures. It is given in your book. You refer that. So the wheels of bullock cart and the Olympic rings are example for congruent circles. Congruent means what is that? Circle which have same size are called a congruent circle. They are copies of each other. Exactly they are identical. Exactly they are same. That is the way. Okay. The radius also equal. Because circles have same size means what is surely they will have same radius. Suppose this is 3 cm means, and this circle also will have what is the radius? Same radius 3 cm. And if you fix one circle with another, what will happen? It will fix exactly to each other. That's what I said. Our hand bangles are example for what circles? Congruent circles. Especially girls, you will have more circles. Boys won't have. Girls, you have your bangles, more bangles. So each bangle is an example for what are circles? Congruent circles. Next, our topic is parts of a circle. In that we are going to see concentric circles. What is meant by concentric circles? The circles with common center but different radius are called the concentric circles. The circles which have common center but different radius. Different radii or radius are called. Different radius are called what circles? Concentric circles. Concentric circles. So, what is the meaning? The circles which have common center. Here, you see these three circles have the common center O, but a different radius. That is here, first circle have the radius R1, and second circle R2, and third circle R3. And together, what is the name of these three circles? Concentric circles. Okay, because they have same center, different radius. And real life also we are having three examples. What are they? An archery target and a carom board coin and a water ripples are the examples of a concentric circles. That is, first one is an archery target. Second one, a carom board coin. Carom board coin. Third one, water ripples. Okay, these are the examples for concentric circles. Next, our topic is position of a point with respect to a circle. Next, our heading is what? Position of a point with respect to a circle. Now, consider a circle in the plane. Okay, now this is a what surface, ma? The blackboard is a plane surface. Plane surface means what? Smooth surface is called what? Plane surface. So here I am going to consider a circle. Okay, the plane I am going to consider a circle B. Now consider a point. Here point P on the circle with the center O. With center what? With the center O. Now the distance. That is O from P. P is the radius of the distance. The distance O from P is OP. That is the distance, radius amma. So the distance O from P is OP. Then if now OP, then first point, if OP equal to radius means, that is, if the distance from O to P is equal to radius of the circle means, we can say the point lies on the circle. The point P lies on the circle. Okay, lies on the circle. And second point, OP less than radius means we can say the point P lies inside the circle. Lies inside the circle. Okay, so here it won't be here. It comes inside P. Okay, and another thing, OP greater than radius means, that's what we said, position of the point. Okay, so the OP greater than radius means the point P lies outside of the circle. Lies outside of the circle. Understand? Outside of the circle. Okay, so what are the three things? If OP equal to radius means the point P lies on the circle. If OP is less than radius means the point P lies inside the circle. lies outside of the circle. You see, I am going to take like this. Now you understand? In this plane, just three position we can able to say OP on the circle, P in the circle, and here this is the outside of the circle. 3 points on the circle, inside the circle, outside the circle. Therefore, regarding to the this is a conclusion. Regarding to the position of the point P, the plane, the circle divides the plane into 3 parts. Into 3 parts. This is very important thing you have to keep in mind. That is, regarding to the position of the point P, the circle only divides. The circle divides the plane into how many parts? 3 parts. Because inside of the circle, outside of the circle, and on the circle. So we are getting the plane is divided by the circle into 3 parts. Okay, this is what the position of your point with respect to your circle through 3 points. First circle through 1 point. Now we are going to see circles through 3 points means how many circles we can able to draw 3 points. So we are starting from 1 point. Circle through 1 point means now you take the point P. From the point P, we can able to draw many circles. You see here I have drawn one circle. 1 and here 2 and next here one circle 3, and using this way we can able to draw how many circles? Many circles through 1 point. Next circles through 2 points. Take 2 points A and B. From 2 points, how many circles can be drawn? Here also we can able to draw many circles. How it is possible? Just you draw here A is the point and B is the point. So from this I am drawing one circle AB. Next you can able to draw one more circle through AB, and next you can able to extend the size. That is, you see, passing through this point we can able to draw one more circle, and this side also. So using different radius, we can able to draw many circles passing through AB. So in these 2 cases, we saw many circles can be drawn through 1 point and 2 points. So a circle through a 1 point also can be drawn many circles. That is from 1 point to P we can draw many circles, and using 2 points also we can able to draw many circles. So many circles can be drawn through 1 point and 2 points. Next we are going to see how many circles can be drawn through 3 points. Next, circles through 3 points. Now consider the points A, B and C. And here these 3 points are collinear. That is, what is the meaning? Here suppose A, B and C are collinear. What is the meaning for collinear? Lying on a same straight line. That is, if the points lying on a same straight lines means, can we able to draw many circles? No, we can't draw many circles. We can't draw many circles through collinear points. Collinear means lying on the same straight line. Collinear points. So how many circles can we draw here? Only we can able to draw only one circle, passing through 2 points only. Otherwise, suppose here you are not drawing means you can able to draw here only. That is, it may cover B and C only. Not possible to cover all the 3 points. So using collinear points, we can able to draw only one circle. Okay, next circles through non-collinear points. Here, next circles through non-collinear points. Non-collinear points, they won't lie on a straight line. Non-collinear points. So what we are going to do with the non-collinear points? Take 3 points here, A, B and C. 3 points, they are not collinear. So using these points, we can able to draw a triangle. So using the non-collinear points, here I made a triangle. But through non-collinear points, we can able to draw a circumcircle. That is, you will study this in your geometry. What does mean by a circumcircle? That is, a circle which passes all the vertices of a triangle is called a circumcircle. Therefore, circles through non-collinear points means first using 3 points. We can non-collinear means using non-collinear point. We can able to draw a triangle first. Using non-collinear points, we can draw a triangle. We can draw or we can construct a triangle. We can draw a triangle and we can draw one circle through its vertices. What is the name of the circle? Circumcircle. The circle which passes through all the vertices of the triangle is called a circumcircle. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Circles through 3 points. How many points able to draw? Able to draw means only one circle can be drawn. That can be drawn through non-collinear points. This is one of the theorem in your book. Only one circle can be drawn through non-collinear points. 3 non-collinear points. This is theorem number 6. This is the theorem 6 in your book. Refer in your book. Theorem 6. Only one circle can be drawn through 3 non-collinear points. Properties of chord of a circle. Next heading is properties of chord of a circle. We finished chords of a circle. We finished. Next we are going to see the property. First property, perpendicular from the center to a chord. Perpendicular from the center to a chord. Now take a circle. That is a circle with the center O. Okay. Here draw OC perpendicular to AB. Okay. So here I am drawing a line. This line OC is perpendicular to what? AB. Then next join OA and OB. They are what? Radius. Join OA and OB. You know, in a circle, OA equal to OB, radius are equal. Now join OA and OB. Now what happened? I get the 2 triangles. What are the triangles I get here? Here AOC one angle and BOC one triangle. AOC one triangle and BOC one triangle. So what will happen here? Now this OC becomes the common side of both triangles. So we get what? AOC triangle, AOC and triangle BOC. Now is the common side? Yes, OC is the common side. Therefore, OC is common. Now we can say here this OA equal to OB first side and OC is the common side. So I am going to say the triangle AOC is congruent to triangle BOC. Congruent means what I said, they will have same shape and the size. And in your imagination, you cut a triangle BOC and turn the side and keep it on AOC. Surely what you will have is the 2 triangles will be fixed each other exactly. So we can able to say This one side is equal. Here the radius of the triangle is equal. Triangles AOC and BOC, and which will become the after joining the radius I got two triangles. So now which is the common side? OC is common to both triangles. Now side OC becomes common to both the triangles. Both the triangles. Okay. Therefore we can say triangle AOC is congruent to triangle BOC. Congruent means they will have same shape and the size. Now, if you cut the triangle in the middle, that is if you cut the two triangles in the middle in your imagination and keep together one triangle on the another, exactly you will have the same triangle. That is, you see here it will come like this. If you cut the triangle, it will come like this. Here also OC. So here OA is equal to OB and OC equal to OCR. Surely if two triangles are equal means by congruent property AC will be equal to what? CB. AC will be equal to CB. Therefore, what we are going to understand from this property means that is the perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects the chord. What there we are going to conclude here? That is, what is the conclusion? The perpendicular. Okay, students, you copy from your notebook, then I will write here. Okay. So again, I am explaining here to prove this. First, I am drawing OC perpendicular to AB, and here automatically OA and OB are radius. They are equal, and OC becomes the common side. Now we have to bother about the third side. And what about the third side? The AC and the CB. So here two sides are equal. Automatically, by congruent of the triangle, third side will be equal. So we have shown here AC also equal to CB by concurrent triangle or congruent triangle. By congruent triangle property. So now what will happen? All three sides become equal. So what we have understood here means that is the perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects the chord. This is another theorem. Bisects the chord. This is the next theorem. That is, this perpendicular bisects the chord AB. What is the meaning? If AB equal to 10 centimeter means, which implies by this theorem, what is AC? AC equal to AB by 2. AC equal to AB by 2, or we can write this CB also equal to AB by 2. That is what? Half of the length of the chord. This is what? By theorem 7. By theorem 7 in your book. This is theorem 7 we are getting. So from this idea, we have proved the perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects the chord. So you understood from this sum. AB equal to 10 means surely AC and CB will be what? How much centimeters? 5 centimeter, 5 centimeters. By what theorem? The perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects the chord.